Hi, Ascenters, how are you? My deepest apologies. Totally Doable Tanya is coming to a day late, but it was a fast day. It was a fast day. Anyway, let's do it. So, it's episode 3, Totally Doable Tanya. Hope you're getting caught up. We touched on a general theme. We touched on the introduction. And now we touched on the opening page. And now we're going to touch on the introduction. But our goal with this class is to be brief and to the point, but to get you the core points that open up the Tanya, to get us thinking and understanding the Tanya in a way that we connect to it, that we shouldn't feel, as I've heard people say, great book, but it's not really talking to me. So let's talk today. There's something called the Hakdamat HaMelaket, the introduction of the compiler. And what you'll find is you open the Tanya, you have the introductory page, which we spoke about in episode 2. And then there are approbations from great tzaddikim about how amazing the book is. But we get to, the Alter Rebbe added an introduction. There's 2 main points to pull out from there. I'm not saying not to read it, but I want to highlight 2 really important points. And again, our whole goal with this is to connect to Tanya deeply and render it meaningful, connect-to-able, understandable, a bit more psychological and in a way that my brains connect to. So there is, the first idea is that the Alter Rebbe says in the introduction that it contains all the answers to all the questions. Okay, and I'm not, in another class we'll go more deeper into it, but I want there's a certain idea, there's a certain faith a certain trust a person needs to have. The Alter Rebbe was an unbelievable soul. He's a brand new soul that had never been reincarnated in this world. And he was able to write a book based upon his incredible deep connectivity, his righteousness, his brilliance, his spirituality, his total connection to the creator of the universe, his mastery of the revealed and concealed teachings. He was able to then engage with human beings, Jews, body and soul, in their challenges, in their difficulties, and see the patterns and get a good sense, a perfect sense, would you, of their struggles and challenges. And he turns around and he doesn't write a book. You will not find in Tanya what we find in the self-help section of Barnes & Noble or Amazon. You find a book where he says, I'm not going to go, symptoms. I'm not going to say, if you've got this, turn to page 32. Let's get to the core. And he makes a powerful statement. He says that the book contains all the answers to all the questions, that any challenge a person will face in their trying to have a relationship with the creator of the universe and trying to be a soul in a body, dealing with an animal soul, where these 2 souls that we spoke about in the very first episode. Any of the challenges that you will face, you will find guidance and instruction, powerful information in the Tanya. There's a certain trust, both that going into the book and spending time is worthwhile and that I'll find the answers, and that if at first I don't see it necessarily, the answers are there. He does give a piece of a guidance in the introduction that if you're not able to tap into it, go to people who can help you, such as this class, books like GPS for the Soul, many of the other incredible teachers that locally or online that you could find. But that a certain confidence that having success, delights, pleasure, growth in my relationship with the creator of the universe, I can find through my relationship to the Tanya, through learning the Tanya, growing. It's a lifelong endeavor. And so that's something that he shares with us. And he also tells us, he says that, what I'm writing is based upon deeply connecting to Chassidim. Yodeh Makira Kamina, that I'm speaking to those who I've spent a lot of time deeply connecting with and getting to know. And so there's a trust in there that it also speaks to me. And Chassidim say that it applies to anybody who is known by the Alter Rebbe, not just his Chassidim, which is also us as we pick up the Tanya. You're here now learning Tanya, which means you're somebody known by the Alter Rebbe. But there's a certain faith and trust that I'm going to invest time in this, and I'm going to trust that the answers will come. And so it's a certain approach that one needs to have as we engage with the Tanya. And at the same time, along with this, is a certain awareness that why was the Alter Rebbe writing the Tanya? And he discusses this in the introduction, but basically the approach to Tanya was, the approach to Chassidus, the initial approach of the Alter Rebbe, was one in which people would come to him and he would meet with them face to face, get a sense of their soul, send them on the right way, give them guidance and direction, give them a certain clarity of what the strengths they had and the areas of weakness they needed to work on, and send them off. And as the numbers began to grow and grow, that became impossible. But the need to kick off one's relationship to Chassidus and the Chassidic approach to living life, one's soul, a relationship with the Creator, Torah, and mitzvahs, the need for that soul-to-soul yechidus, that powerful relationship and connection, where we sit, face to face with the tzaddik, with the Alter Rebbe, the Nasi, and hear his guidance and direction. That remained, and he inserted that into the book, which means I'm not just reading a book. There's something way beyond that's going on as I read the book. I'm going into it, number one, as I said before, that my answers for sure could be found here in the Tanya, number one. Number two, I'm engaged in a dialogue, in a relationship with a very powerful teacher, a loving, demanding, powerful, compassionate, capable, brilliant, amazing, totally connected teacher, the Alter Rebbe, the first leader of Chabad. And all of the Rebbeim, the Rebbes of Chabad's job was to help us connect ourselves to the Creator of the universe. And in my learning the book, I'm not just Amazon flipping through my Kindle. There's a spiritual connection, a powerful connection that's going on over here, a very deep relationship that's at play. So these are some very, very important thoughts that are so important that the Alter Rebbe crafted an introduction before he had the Tanya printed in order to help us put on the right set of glasses as we sit down and engage in the Tanya. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll be back next week, God willing, on Sunday, not on Monday.